And a welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Let's talk some high school football. A lot of coaching moves here in the offseason here in the city of San Bernardino, including the Pacific Pirates. The Pirates will have a new head coach next season, and he is a Pirates legend. Former Pacific star Ernie Burries is taking over the football program, and he is excited to get to work. Pacific, remember, did not have varsity football last season, so Coach knows it's going to be an uphill battle, but he is ready for the challenge, and he wants to restore the tradition at Pacific High School. He's ready to get to work. Here's Coach Burries. And now join us here on the show. He is the brand new head football coach of your Pacific Pirates. It's Ernie Burries. And Coach, if people are watching this, they might say, hey, I remember that name. He's a Pacific legend. Coach, why does it mean so much to you to go back to your alma mater and try to restore that legacy, that tradition?
Man, it's been something that I actually been wanting to do for a few years now. A lot of the old alumni, we all talk. We used to, back then, we'd always look in the newspaper and we're like, oh man, Pacific's losing. We're not used to seeing that. And then, going over to Cajon, the rival, it was like, I felt like I let my guys down, my fellow Pirates down for a little bit, but we're back. We're gonna restore it back to its glory days.
So, Coach, you just mentioned Cajon. You were with Nick Rogers over there at Cajon, and obviously they've had a ton of success, had a bunch of guys, Jaden Daniels, Heisman, and, NFL and all that stuff. But they've had a lot of guys just get college scholarships, right, and use football as a way to get their education. So being around the Cajon program, did you learn some things or, some things that you're like, hey, I think that's going to work at Pacific too. I'm going to implement it that way?
A lot, Nick is my guy. He's one of those. I would call him my mentor in a way. He's always supported me. He knew that in the back of my mind, I always wanted to go to Pacific. As far as for learning things over there, yeah, he's always been one who allowed us to be us. As coaches, and all of our input was always taken into consideration when it came down to game planning and that sort of thing. So, that's my mindset going into it. I have a pretty decent staff put together already, and I think that we're going to do some things and I'm going to let those guys be them and do what they do. And, we're going to have some fun.
Now, Coach, I saw some old pictures circulating on social media of you playing back in the day. What are some of the memories that you still remember about being a Pirate?
It was always fun. We had a ball. It was our outlet. A lot of the guys, especially being in San Bernardino and even now over at Pacific, a lot of people don't think that, the kids over there are really worth anything in a way, so athletics allowed us to get out. A lot of us got out of there and, got degrees through sports. Dr. Raimundo has done a great job over there with the academics. So it's a lot of different programs that I wasn't used to it wasn't there when I got there, when I went to school there. So I walked around the campus and I'm like, this is nice. They have a whole biomed program. They have a program where, it's a trade where they're teaching the kids how to build big rigs and work on the electrical components of big rigs and auto mechanics and stuff like that. So, it's a lot of things over there that's at the school that would entice a lot of people to start coming once they know. A lot of people don't know about that because I didn't even know about it, and I'm an alum.
Yeah, there's some beautiful new buildings on campus, and yeah, it's really nice. And a lot of the stuff that they offer. Coach, you talked about just getting kids to come out and play football. Last year we all knew Pacific did not have a varsity team, so. What's at the top of your to-do list right now? Is it just make sure you've got good numbers, like kids are coming out and excited about football? Like, what are you doing right now to get ready for the season, you feel like?
Reaching into the community, using my resources as far as being someone that's always in the community and, letting them know that I'm over there. I'm back home in a way. So once that announcement went out, the word spread like crazy. It got a lot of people wanting to come over and play, and a lot of people wanting to come and try to coach with us, but can't hire everyone. But we'll be all right. I think we'll be okay. This first year right here will be that building block year, but then next year I think is where we take off.
All right, Coach, if you were going to describe your style of football, I mean, is it put your best players on defense? Is it run before you throw? Like, how would you kind of describe the kind of football that you'd like to see the Pirates play?
Winning football. That's it. We want to win. Whatever we need to do to win. If a team is stacking a box and they're just letting us throw the bombs over bag, then we're gonna throw the ball. If they're 3-man front and they can't stop the run, hey, the receiver's just gonna have to block that game. If they can't stop the blitz, then I expect my D coordinator to send the blitz. I'm going to allow them to do what they do. As long as we can come out on top and at the same time put all the players in position to be successful, and have fun. So that's the main thing.
Coach, do you feel like you maybe have like a unique perspective on the program because you are a former Pacific Pirate football player and a Pacific legend? I mean, you could hire guys from the outside, but it might not just fit the same because you've been there. You were on that campus. You wore a Pirates uniform. Do you think you have a different perspective maybe?
Yeah, I mean, the love of the school, I have a deeper passion for it. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like with Nick over at Cajon. He's a Cajon alum, and he has that passion for it, which is why he's been there so long. So I'm trying to bring that energy back to the school over at Pacific, so that way, and I think it'll be good for the city. Having more than just Cajon, Good, and San Bernardino, and then Aquinas as well, but Aquinas being the private school. But at the same time, it used to be Cajon. Well, Purdue was decent. Pacific, San G, all those schools, we were all good, and it was like a good city rivalry type thing going on. So I think that trying to bring that back as well. Now we're throwing Indian Springs is right down the street, so it's going to be tough, but I think we'll be able to get it done.
And finally, Coach, what does your offseason look like? I mean, you a guy that wants to see your kids in the weight room a lot this offseason. Is it going to be, like maybe encouraging them to do track and field? I mean, what does your offseason look like when you try to get your guys ready?
Well, it's funny. It's funny you said that because that was the main thing. I just met the returners this past week, and I let them know, asked them what they were doing right now. Some of them were in the weight room, some were not. Some were playing baseball. I have a couple that are wrestling, and then the others were just like, we're not doing anything. So I'm like, well, congratulations, you're on the track team. So that's just what it is. Like, you're going to go out there, you're going to run track, you're going to compete, get faster, get stronger, and that's just what it is. Because the more they're involved in activities, the more it brings that athletic spirit out on the school campus, so that's the main thing. You want to bring that culture back.
Good luck to Burries and the Pirates this upcoming season. And that'll do it for this edition of Sports Weekly. My name is Pep Fernandez. Make sure you subscribe to the Inland Empire Media Group YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.